Hey there, Christopher Thunder here from the World's Dirtiest Workshop and Rider of the Storm. I'm going to be talking over my air conditioning again. I'm here with my XR650L and my White Brothers E-Series exhaust. It's a little loud, even though I've gotten the number of discs down to about 6. The smaller number of discs will give me a little bit more low-end power, a little torque, right? But my spark plug's still a little gray. I'm probably running a little warm, and it's bothering my ears. So I'm going to use some of this. Now, I prefer the red one, which is high temp. I'm going to be using this JB Weld and this wrench to disassemble this, and then I'm going to close up the hole in the main body with this. And then I'm going to use some tools I got laying around to modify the back plate. And we're going to see if we can quiet this down and give me a little bit more power and improve my tuning. It's a win-win-win, right? I always like wins. So let's give it a whirl. So let's get in here and get this thing started. I can use a gun to loosen this, and I found that if I run into trouble, I just wind up stripping the bolts. And I may not even feel that I'm actually stripping the bolts because the gun will just keep on cranking and tearing up the bolts. I'm going to try and do this as evenly as possible. I've already loosened up all the bolts. The last thing you want to do is loosen it up this way or tighten it down this way. You want to bring it in evenly or remove it as evenly as possible. Sometimes the discs will catch and you're going to find yourself removing the discs at an angle, and that's when you're going to start tearing up your bolts. You can see it's already pulled loose that way. Now here I'm right up against the turn signal, so I've got the turn signal taped off. So if I tap it for some reason, I'm not going to wind up damaging the turn signal. And that's really the kind of thing you want to do whenever you're working on a bike, is protect the bike. Don't just get in there and start cranking away at things, because you might do some damage. I've had far too many mechanics get into my bike and then come back with something broken, or there's a hole in something. It's hard to get a good mechanic. It really is. Tapping that. That's why I got the tape on there. And we'll just zip through this. See, there I'm caught with a little special effects. All you can do is hold it in place, keep working at it until that one in the back corner frees up. Jammed again. See, that's what I was talking about, is the jamming. If it's jammed, you don't want to keep cranking with a screw gun, because you'll just tear through the threads or wind up tearing up the insides of this thing. So a screw gun, as I've learned, isn't the best thing. You're going to wind up replacing a lot of these bolts. That just doesn't want to let go. Wow. think I'm going to replace that bolt real soon. That's a long one. I have shorter ones. And you're going to see here that that one's torn up right there. So I'm going to have to start over and put another bolt in there. Oh well, you know, here's a brass wire brush and a steel wire brush. Let's give these a try. That's not doing much. Let's try steel. That's working a little better. This is just paint thinner. Running a little low on this. Just want to clean up the first inch of this. So I'm going to run the epoxy right here on the lip and just close up the hole. Let's try a little sandpaper. Okay, remove required amount of putty, wear gloves, thoroughly knead. Yeah, last time I did this with bare hands and it kind of messed up my hands. But it comes off with solvent. Press putty firmly into the surface. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There isn't much to this. Okay, pull that out of there. It's wrapped in a plastic. You have to remove it from there. So just take it out of the wrapper and just kind of get busy with it. Oops. There's two more stickers on the end here. There we go. Be a little thoughtful about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Break it up in little pieces and just push it in. It's going to be a little uneven, but you know what? It's going to be inside, so you'll never notice. I'll just fix that later. So what I'm doing is I'm creating kind of like an angle inside with my finger. So I'm kind of flattening it out inside. I can feel the chemical warming up. So it's already at an acceptable shape. I'm just playing with it right now. This stuff's getting hot already. Sooner or later it's just going to bind up. What I want the exhaust gases to do is I want them to come out and then go back this way and then out the slots. So it just gives the exhaust system more angles to work with. It's also going to give the chemical a little bit more bite. I'm going to push it into the there we go. Try and close up the hole a little bit. That's already starting to bind up. I can feel it. Yep, that's getting hard real fast. Okay, I can't work that anymore. We're just going to let that go, and that may have closed up the hole by about 10% or so. And then we're going to do something with the cover cap and put it all back together. This is the exhaust cap, red side out. It seems to be fine. It looks like it cracked there a little bit, but the whole thing's epoxy together. So my intention is to take this thing, put a washer on it and another lock nut, and that'll give the air some more resistance as it passes through the pipe. So here's what I did. I just got a washer and a locking nut with some nylon, 10mm wrench, just locking it down. And hopefully this will fit in the hole, and you'll get this kind of a thing going on where the air will pass between this and the epoxy and then make a U-turn and then make another U-turn and exit the pipe. So just like a standard exhaust system, the air makes a U-turn and a U-turn. And you may have noticed that the pipe is actually bending into a dome. That's from back pressure. Tells me that the back pressure thing's working. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Okay, that washer is a little big for the hole. Huh. I'm going to have to find a smaller washer. So, you know, fail. Got to come up with a smaller washer. Redo. Okay, so we're back with another washer. Something that's a little smaller. And I think that that's going to work out just fine. Yeah, that's nowhere near the size of the hole. That's great. Are we ready for assembly yet? Yeah, I'd say so. That's hard. All right. Let's put it together. I thought maybe this time around, instead of painting it red and having it turn orange, just paint it black. I can tell the paint's getting all over my clothes if I stand on that side. Okay, we're back. I had to tighten the bolts several times around to make sure that they're all tight. Let's see if it even runs. It's getting kind of warm out. No choke. Neutral. Whoa. That's a lot different. That's really different. Wow. Certainly a lot quieter, that's for sure. Wow. Let that run for a moment. Before I take this out for a test ride, I'm going to let it warm up and heat cycle a little bit and see if it changes anything. Well, I can tell you right now, just standing here at idle, it's a lot quieter. So when I first started it, it just didn't quite seem to want to run right, but now before, it was just too loud. Okay, so that seems to be a little bit too restrictive. It's quieter, but too restrictive. So what am I going to do? Well, I could file out the material that I just put in, that's one, or I could add another disc. I think I'm going to add another disc and then try it again later. The sun's getting real high and it's getting real warm. So, this is Christopher Thunder from Rider of the Storm saying bye-bye for now, and you'll see me riding it again. It's going to be fun.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed then.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
When will then be now?
Soon.